I got this surface cleaned off. I got to wipe it down, but I got it pretty smooth, and I will put the new gasket on. Throttle position sensor. So the throttle position sensor is right here. Okay, so this bad boy is right there. Now it's held on with one screw here and one screw here. I know you can't see where I'm looking at, but it's at the bottom of the throttle body. So right here, one screw, pops right off, and the new throttle position sensor goes right back on. Recording. All right, so this uses a Phillips screwdriver. New throttle position sensor. I'm gonna look and make sure I've got this thing set up right. I think I do. I mean, it's slightly different than what I have, so hopefully we don't run into any clearance issues. Let's see how it plays out. So, and these aren't bolted in too tight. Just one screw. Bam. That right there. And the next screw. Just gotta hold it to catch it started. Now, as you see, this is not difficult. It's just time consuming. I mean, it took me a good, and this is just a good opportunity to mention it again. Great. Mention it again. Do not, I repeat, do not use gasket sealant on the throttle body, because I spent probably a good 30-45 minutes just cleaning it off. So here's the throttle position sensor. I am going to put it back on exactly like it was, because you need to line it up exactly like it was, because there is a little outcropping. There we go. I was able to get it in. It just took a minute. Looks like it. Looks like it fit, which is fine. Just required a little maneuvering around, and I will take a look at it on this side, maybe. Yeah, looks like it's sealed up nicely. Okay, so that being said, I think we can go back to putting it back together. First thing we do is, while I've got all these pieces out, I'm going to tighten up this bottom hose clamp that I didn't need to remove, but I just got it prepared just in case, because once you get this throttle body in, it makes it a little more complicated. So I was going to try to see if we could secure this bad boy, but instead I will end up connecting connecting it right here. And I'll use a zip tie. There we go. Locked in. Now, I can snip that. And there we go. All right. Next, I will reconnect this hose that goes into the side of the throttle body. If you remember that little nipple that went between the two barrels. We have the bottom connected. We have the throttle position sensor connected. And the only thing we don't have connected is the top hose, which is right here. And we will connect that. Now we're just tightening this bad boy up. Now all this is taking about 17 minutes to put back together. Probably would not have taken that long. But you know, cleaning up some things, straightening up some things, tightening some things up. But anyway, so we've got our bolts down here, but the first thing we have to do is put a new gasket on. Pretty simple. Remember, no sealant on the gasket. All we're gonna do is check fitment. Make sure that it's the right size, which it appears to be. Then we'll just take off 4 bolts. And first thing we'll do is we'll take our first 2, slide that in there, and slide that in there. That right there is going to seal everything in, no problems. Okay, then we are going to try very carefully to manipulate, get around that plate. And get that started there. And get this one started here. Yep. Then, to do this one, it's always smart to use the extender, the extension. I just want to lightly screw it in to see if it catches, because you don't want to, if you're not lined up, you don't want to crease the gasket. But this appears to be rolling right in. In fact, I'm still turning it by hand. It appears to be closing up. Then we'll cross, we'll do the top left one. And we'll do the top right. And last but not least, we gotta put in this bottom one, which, as you know, getting out was not fun in any shape, fashion, or form. I use the same technique. I put it in by hand first, and then I use the straight arm to get it in. Now remember, you can't tighten this one down all the way because you need to use the wiggler, which we will do. Just to make sure we get it all tightened down. Then once we do that, then we'll go back and we'll torque everything down to proper specs. There we go. All right, everything is now hand tightened. Okay, so now I've got my torque wrench, and it's 12 to 15 torque pounds for this particular vehicle. So check your torque specifications for your vehicle. You can use an inch pounder if you have it, but remember you got to multiply by times 12. So we are going to tighten this up in a crisscross pattern. Okay. Now this one's going to be a little unique because we're going to use a wiggler, although technically you're not supposed to do that or add any attachments, as you see we've done when we're torquing things down. But otherwise, basically what we're doing is we're giving it the best conventional gifts that we can. Otherwise, you don't really have anything because there's really no other way of getting it in there. And we may not be able to get it in there anyway. For some reason, there we go. So for some reason, it's being a little persnickety. All right, now I'm going to test it. All right. This one. All right. Next thing good to do is always double check to make sure your torque wrench didn't slip, to make sure you did get the proper torque, which we did. Everything is now tightened down. Everything is reconnected. I am now reconnecting the idler air control valve, and then I'm about to reconnect the throttle body cables. So. There we go. All right, everything appears to be reconnected. Okay, and we are going to reconnect. It's always a good idea to tighten these down before you put the other ones on, or else they have a tendency to pop off. So you tighten them down once you got it on there. And this just takes a matter of minutes, well really seconds. If you have steadier hands than me, or if you use a socket. Which I do sometimes. And there we go. Now I'll put these on, this other end next to the air cleaner. All right, that is it. So we're gonna go get inside the vehicle here. Hit the accessory. Well, it's not revving as high as it was. Idle seems to be good. Think maybe we did it. We'll find out.